Warm welcome to all the viewers joining us for this pre-recorded show. We are recording early doors for the meeting, which takes place in Gauteng, and on the line has the resident expert, and that is Alistair Cohen. Alistair, how are you doing, and what do you make of the card?
Yeah, good day, Sheldon. No complaints on my side. We're obviously gearing up for another big week. I do love the fact that the King's Cup has come to Hollywoodbets Greyville already. That's the first sign that big horses are going to be on their way. I know Dean Caname has just arrived. I know that Glenn Cotson and Justin Snaith are going to give it a couple more weeks. Looking at the declarations and the nominations for this weekend, obviously with the Grade 3 Bali Turk and Umzumkulu and the KwaZulu-Natal Stakes, fantastic that Sean Terry's nominated quite a few horses. Obviously Mike and Matthew de Kock have got their satellite yards down in Durban, so this is when things start to turn down in KZN. Really looking forward to champion season and everything to come. This just the hors d'oeuvre before everything really gets going. And then obviously this weekend we got a big day up on the Vaal. This card at the Vaal, couple of scratched horses which do take a little bit of the zest out of the meeting. The Barpot is my suggested bet. Saturday will obviously be the highlight, but hopefully we can do a good job getting through this.
Race number 1 is over a trip of 1,200 metres, where number 1, Tana Marie, is trading at around 3 to 10. After that, number 3, Like a Prayer, at 6 to 1, 7 to 1, and Better the Rest. Does number 1, Tana Marie, shape up as a 3 to 10 favourite in your books, Alistair?
Look, Sheldon, I think she'll win, and if I think she'll win, then 3 to 10 is the price that we got to take. Sparingly raced this 4-year-old, this 4.5-year-old, started her career in fair style. Since coming back from a 9-month break, she's put up 2 very good runs. I do like the turn of foot that she's got. You can see that she's ridden patiently. She does possess a reasonable finish about her. If you go and look at her form lines, although none of them spark up like a Christmas tree, the penultimate start behind Antonio Gaudi is a very pleasing piece of form, because the direct winners from that form line include the likes of It's Personal and Lady of Arc, while Old Fashioned continues to run places. It does look a pretty shallow maiden, Sheldon. Absolutely no such thing as a good thing, but she does stack up as one of the better bets on the card. As mentioned, Barpot is my suggested bet, and she'll stack up as a bank if she can't run into the top 2. I'll be absolutely devastated. Just keep an eye out on one horse here, number 8, Harper's Way, Stuart Pettigrew's runner, starting her career late. Calvin Abib takes her out. She was carded to run about 2 weeks ago, and there was support for her, but she was scratched. I'm not too sure where the support came from, but wouldn't take much for her to feature here, but definitely got number 1, Tana Marie, to beat.
On to race number 2, 13-15 over 1,200 metres, and number 2, Mizzen Sword, is 15 to 10. Mark Khan and Gavin Larina. The first timer, which is number 6, Curtis Condor, shortened 2 to 1, and then number 8, Gimme a Storm, is 33 to 10. Number 3, Trip to States, at 4 to 1, and then it's 12 to 1, and upwards the rest. Is there any talk on the ground about the first timer from the Van Rensburg stable?
No, I haven't heard anything, Sheldon, and if I do, it might sort of be a little bit too late for this. So, look, he's bred very well, the son of Lancaster Bomber. It's not necessarily Johan's style to step out a horse this late as a 3-year-old, but obviously you get the benefit of being looked at favourably by the handicapper, or maybe unfavourably, depending on which way you want to see things. Samanga Kamalo takes a ride. It's, as far as form is concerned, with the likely scratching, with the definite scratching, number 1, Obsidian, because he was a winner over the weekend. When you've got numbers 2, Mizzen Sword, and 8, Gimme a Storm as your main rivals, you would say that they have vulnerability. So if number 6, Curtis Condor, has any amounts of ability, he should be able to win on debut. So I'd recommend watching him closely in the market, watching him closely on the way down to the start, and he's very much in my Barpot, as is the other stable, the other first time, number 7, Red Sea Hills, the son of Master of My Fate. He's got some good genetics. He's related to a horse called Matador Man, who you'll remember quite well. He kept going to KZN for the KZN Breeders' Race days, and scooping the big prize when he was trained by Sean Terry. So he's related to number 7, Red Sea Hills. He could have something about him. Love the Master of My Fates, and Cabello Matsanyani riding extremely well, especially for Robin Clarkson. And then obviously the 2 race runners with the best form also figure in. Number 2, Mizzen Sword, does have the worst of the draws, but 7 out of 7 isn't. If it was 7 out of 14, it wouldn't be a train smash, so we can't deem it as such. And if number 8, Gimme a Storm, improves and blinkers, then she could be quite dangerous congratulations as well. She was the horse that went Vaal on the 26th of January when Gavin Lorena decided to have a sword fight, and we'll know a lot more about that this week. But anyway, 2, 6, 7 and 8 are the numbers to go in with. I know it's a small field. It'll be down to at least 6 runners because 1 and 5 are out, but I don't like the race. We should double up there, but obviously we won't get much momentum as far as the dividend is concerned.
Stepping into the zone of race number 3, where number 3 Royal Miracle is your current 13-10 favourite. Number 4 War Reporter 5-2, and number 7 That's Magical at 5-2. Beyond those runners, you can get 6-1 and better the rest. Scratch numbers 1 and 2 at the early time of recording. What's your stance on race number 3, Alistair?
So Sheldon, it went from looking like an absolute boat race between numbers 1 and 2 on paper, but now that they're both out, then we're swerving a little bit. So my bar pot numbers that I sent through, knowing that Pioneer Square would be scratched, are 2 and 4, and I'm not going to change that. I'm going to keep the scratching in the hope that we can either double up or that the favourite can run into the top 2. And as you've just given out the market, obviously number 3 Royal Miracle is the favourite, so I'm comfortable with the stance of keeping the scratching in the play. I do prefer number 4 War Reporter over number 3 Royal Miracle. This is why I like the improvement that he showed from Cape Town into Joburg, running behind Pumpkin Pie. There was a little bit of trepidation now about the level of that form with the second and third horses, Cape Saffron and Wearing of the Green, running those sort of races over the weekend. But I know Pumpkin Pie is going to win a few races, so I think number 4 War Reporter stepping up in distance. The whole family stayed there, 1.5 miles, no issue. So there should be no issues going up in distance. Samanga Kamalo does take the ride. He's a lovely, big, imposing son of Vercingestrix. It was just never going to be a force over 1,200 meters. So I think that he'll run a big race, number 4 War Reporter. And I think that as time goes on, he will come into his own and be fairly okay. Number 3 Royal Miracle, as you mentioned, top of the boards. No surprise there. He was walloped last time by Huehue Tenango, but this is not a very strong field, and his run to Satchak Raha especially probably does bring him into the picture. So 3 and 4 or 2 and 4 my bar pot numbers, but in order of preference I'll go 4 War Reporter to beat number 3 Royal Miracle now with those scratchings in play.
As we move along to heat number 4, and this will be run over 2,000 metres. Number 10, Instant Attraction, is your 11-10 anti-post favourite. Number 9, Battle of the Bulge, 7-2. And barring these 2 runners, Alistair, you can get 7-1 and better the rest. 11-10 about Instant Attraction. Do you think that's the right sort of price?
Oh, Sheldon, it's a race I don't like at all. She's the horse with the best form, but she's been the horse with the best form before, and she's failed to get the job done. She was galloped into the ground by She's Everything at her penultimate start, and Huehue Tenango went past her like she was standing still last time out. This is probably the weakest field that she's faced now that she's found form, and I made reference to this the last twice that she's run. Ryan Munger's he's got less than a week left in South Africa, and to ride a winner for his father-in-law Craig Mayhew would be top of his bucket list while he's here. He's ridden so well, he's ridden so many winners, he's ridden so many nice horses, and we all wish he'd stay, although I do believe he'll be back in Christmas, and who knows what the future holds. Hopefully he'll stay a bit longer next time, but he is definitely going back after the weekend. So to ride a winner for his father-in-law would be of paramount importance, and if the Huehue Tenango form is franked to race earlier, and even if it's not franked, I think that all Royal Miracle needs to do is just run a fair race to give a little bit of confidence. So she does look like the horse that many would tip on top, but she's been beaten hot favourite twice before, 7-10 and even money. So I don't think punters will be prepared to dive into the 11-10 currently on offer, but when you shop around and look for alternatives, there's not much. One Gift of Royals had his chances. He's an 11-start maiden. Since Christmas Eve, where he was given a nice sort of 2.5-month break, he's run 2 fair races. Again, the form lines aren't that pretty. Penultimate start to the Merciful, although there were 2 direct winners. Huehue Tenango is one of those, and the Mightiest is another. And if you stack up in direct form, if Gift of Royal is 5 lengths behind Huehue Tenango and Instant Attraction's 2.25 lengths behind Huehue Tenango, then that probably still tilts things into number 10's favour. Number 9, Battle of the Bulge, very well-bred son of Lancaster Bomber, off for 9 months. Very hard to tell how he's going to go, but I think the fact that they've persevered with him for as long as they have might be a hint that there's some ability and some improvement in the locker, so he's the one that I wouldn't let run loose. So 1, 9 and 10 are my numbers. 10 the horse to beat, but a little bit nervous about her.
Next up will be race number 5, and when we take a look at the betting, number 7, Sail the Sky at 22 to 10, number 3, Roaming Spirit 28 to 10, and then number 6, Princess Ilaria is trading at around 33 to 10. We go 7 to 1 and better the rest. Alistair, I'm going to hand the baton straight over to you.
Yeah, it's a race I don't like at all, Sheldon. Princess Ilaria did us a great favour last time, and there was support for her. Tipped her on the show, and she won in good style. Samangu Kamala takes her out on a draw 1, but I have an issue with her going over a mile. I know that she's placed over a mile, but I don't think she's as good over a mile than what she is over 1400. But she might feature. But I've left her out in the bar pot. Wouldn't leave her out of the pick 6 and jackpots. I've got 3, 5, and 7 here, Sheldon. It's a race I'm not too easy with. Number 7, Sail the Sky, been very consistent. Gavin Larina's ridden him 3 times for 3 places. He should be bang there. Penultimate start, a length and a quarter behind Just Vaal. Just Vaal toyed with him over the weekend, followed up with a good run behind Pala Millions. Again, if he reaches a mile, that's going to be a big doubt. If he reaches a mile, he'll be the horse that they all need to beat. But he's run twice over 1,600 metres and he's not ripped up any trees, but maybe it's Gavin's recommendation to step up in distance, but we shall see. He's not a horse I can bank on, not a horse I can put the red money on, but he's definitely set up to run a big race if he reaches the distance. Number 3, Roaming Spirit. Finished well behind Princess Ilaria last time out, but the tilt and the weights, I think Roaming Spirit will get a little bit closer. Interesting dynamics here that Cabello Matsanyani rode Princess Ilaria last time, and now he's riding number 3, Roaming Spirit. So who knows what to make of that. The pure mathematics suggest that Princess Ilaria will finish in front of Roaming Spirit, but I'm of the opinion that Roaming Spirit's looking for this distance, and the fact that she's more lightly raced, she might just come into her own now. If she has a bit of luck from that draw, I think she's effective. And then number 5, Vaal Vegas, with blinkers on for the first time in a while and Andrew Fortune on for the first time ever. I'm not convinced that he's putting it in at the moment, hence they've reached for the blinkers, but I think he's more than capable. He won over 1,700 metres under Craig Zaki on the original Vaal course, and he won in good style when he just was timed to perfection. And if you won timing, Andrew Fortune's your man. So 3, 5, and 7, the horses I'm going to roll in with. To be honest, I'll be happy to survive this leg.
Talking about Andrew Fortune, race number 6, Perini Palace. Andrew Fortune rides the filly, who's currently priced up at 5 to 2. Number 1, Thunderbird, the 4-year-old gelding, is 7 to 2. Number 3, Silky Jet at 9 to 2, and then 11 to 2, and better the rest. Let's kick off with number 6, Perini Palace from the Fisher stable, currently trading at 5 to 2. Alistair?
Yeah, excuse me, she's definitely in the play. Number 6, Perini Palace, been consistent since the turn of the year. Doesn't have the best of draws to overcome, but with that said, we do see the Princess Ilaria form franked a race earlier against the division stronger, then that will enhance the confidence about number 6, Perini Palace. Since her form has come good, she hasn't always had the rub of the green as far as draws are concerned. At her penultimate start, she just fell in a hole a little bit right at the end. 1,500 metres is a bit of a nothing distance, which might be more suitable for her. And she's very much alive. So number 6, Perini Palace, does get thrown into all the play. 3, Silky Jet, first run for Robin Klaassen. Her ratings come down ever so slightly again. The last time she won was for 58. That wasn't a very weak maiden, but she's held her form in her last 2 starts behind Flamboyant Flyer and Key Worker. If this trip is not on the sharp side, I can see her getting in. Number 3, Silky Jet, just simply because the field isn't all that strong. But Sheldon, there's 2 other horses I want to talk about. One that I've left out and one that I've included. The horse I've left out is number 1, Thunderbird. Gavin Larina, 2 from 2 for Diane Stinger over the last 12 months. I can't have him on his last start, and I have no idea what to expect with him going 1,500 metres, so that's why I've left him out. But the horse I've got in here is one of my good old favourites, and I'm normally on the right side. And I'm going to have a little each-way play on number 11, Gimme the Flame, under Chase Morjan for Heather Adamson. I don't think she's been beaten all that far of late. She definitely hasn't been beaten all that far of late. She's very effective at this type of level. She's got a good draw. Her ratings come down another 2 pounds. When she's in the right mood, she's very dangerous, number 11, Gimme the Flame. Not long ago, she was running against horses much, much better than this and never being disgraced. She's the value of the race. She could even be the money maker on the card. I think she'll run into the top 3.
Races 7 and 8 still to come. For those looking to play the double races 7 and 8, do you have any suggestions when it comes to race 7? Are you in the camper number 4, Palace Dancer at 18 to 10, or number 1, Claw at 22 to 10, or are you looking down the page?
I'm going to default to number 4, Palace Dancer here, Sheldon. I think that she's got a little bit more to come. Gavin Arena takes her out for Tony Peter, owned by one Amos and Corsi, who never misses a race meeting, and the fact that he's got a horse, I think, is a wonderful story. Last time up, she ran into a little bit of traffic, I think, if I remember correctly, behind Potberry. She's back against boys. She's got every opportunity here, number 4, Palace Dancer. I think that she's just more consistent than anyone else, and I think over this trip, although she hasn't been 1,500 metres, hardly any of them have, but around this middle distance range, she looks to be quite effective. So number 4, Palace Dancer, the horse I'll tip on top. Regarding number 1, Claw, coming back from a layoff, I love the way that the Aussies can bring a horse back from a layoff, but he's definitely looking for further. I think 1,500 metres might just catch him out, although his numbers stack up very favourably. I still think that he's a horse that we can follow over further and with a run under the belt, although he has come up fresh before after a 2-month break. This is a little bit different. This is a 6-month break and 1. 2, Willow Express can be very dangerous. He's a perfect straight-him ride. He'll just need the pace to be on. If the pace is on, he can be dangerous. As usual, last time cleared a lot of horses over the closing stages behind Katsu. If he won, it would be no surprise. And number 6, Laughing William, just on a sequence of form. Good run, bad run, good run, bad run, good run, bad run, good run, bad run, good run, bad run. On that sequence, he's due a good run. Absolutely no clue how he's going to go. Number 6, Laughing William, he's in good shape at home. He's caution to the wind. If he decides to put it in, he can be very dangerous. If he doesn't, he can go missing. The most reliable horse in the race is number 4, Palace Dancer, Sheldon.
Then we close off with race number 8, and that's over a trip of 1,200 metres, where number 3, Super Awesome, is your current 22-10 favourite. Number 1, Paul Revere, 28-10. 2, Bowmanesque is at 4-1, and then you can take 7-1 and upwards the balance. If you're looking at race number 8, would you have a roving banker when it comes to the quartet, or perhaps a swinger in race number 8, Alistair?
Right, I'm glad you asked, Sheldon. I'm climbing in here to number 2, Bowmanesque. Here Stratham takes her out for Mike and Matthew de Kock. 3rd run after a break. 1st run may have just needed. 2nd run, much better effort behind Vaal Park. Stayed on nicely, didn't do anything wrong. Vaal Park won with his head in his chest. Nothing between 2nd and midfield. Bowmanesque ran midfield. Step up by 200 metres, I think is going to suit. He's run to the likes of Fire and Flames, a Bourbon Warrior and Mount Pinatubo over this distance. I think he's cherry right now to give a big attempt. And in the pick 6, I'd be prepared to banker him, to be honest, number 2, Bowmanesque. Obviously, valid respect for numbers 1, 3, 4, and down the page, 8, Oriental Bouquet, who, by the way, I think should run into the top 4. She's popped up on the radar of late, and she's been running nicely, and her ratings come down again. But I think they've all got number 2, Bowmanesque to beat. When you talk about peak runs and also trimming in the ratings, etc., he does stand out. I hope he's not one of those that's a little bit too obvious, though, but I really like his chances here.
Thanks very much, Alistair. We're going to bring up your suggested bet for the day, so if you can go through for your Legion of fans out there, and hopefully you spot on.
Yep, so the Barb gets underway in race number 1 at 12:40. Bit of a late start on the back of a quiet Monday on the South African calendar, and leading up towards a massive weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be epic. Banker won Tanna Marie in the first leg by numbers 2, 6, 7, and 8. Mizzen Sword, Curtis Condor, Red Sea Hills, and Gimme a Storm. By 2 and 4, and I've got the scratching in there, Dylan's Champ, but I'm hoping that the favourite can work a bit of magic and potentially double up. So Dylan's Champ and War Reporter there. By 1, 9, and 10, Gift of Royal, Battle of the Belge, and Instant Traction. By 3, 5, and 7, Roaming Spirit, Vaal Vegas, and Sail the Sky. By 3, 6, and 11, I've spent a bit here. Silky Jet, Perini Palace, and one of my plays on the day, Give Me the Flame.
Well, thanks very much, Alistair. As always, the input is invaluable. Thanks very much for going through your selections, and best of luck.
Yeah, Sheldon, same to you, same to all the viewers, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thanks very much to Alistair Cohen joining us on the line, and hopefully the selections come to fruition.